Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my vids. I am super hyped for this video. I'm probably a little bit more hyped for this one than the past one, just because this is the real deal, guys. This is when Logan came to the earth and changed everything and made everything better. Yes. So, where can I start this story? Okay. Here we go. So, June 15th was Logan's due date. And that was my original due date. So, on June 15th, I had an appointment with my doctor. Now, this appointment was just because if I didn't already give birth, then I would meet him on my due date if I wasn't in the hospital, to see how I'm doing and why, to see like why the baby hasn't come, and see, just to check so everything's on board, and we'll, so on and so forth. So that was the whole gist of it. So on June 15th, I went to my doctor's appointment. I did not obviously give birth, but I was experiencing lots and lots of Braxton Hicks contractions. Lots of them. Yes, they got pretty painful, but not painful enough for me to go into labor. So on June 15th, like I said, I showed up to my appointment, and what my doctor actually did there was check my amniotic fluid, do an ultrasound, check the baby, and I believe check my cervix to see if I'm dilating or not. So when I get there, my amniotic fluid, that word is just harder and harder to say each and every time. So my amniotic fluid was 100% okay. It was great. The baby was already starting to get to the position to be born, and when he checked my cervix, I was 2 centimeters dilated. So he suggested then that he would what he recommended me, was he was going to send me to the hospital that I was going to deliver Logan in. That's my son's name, by the way. Hey. To monitor myself and the baby. So, when we discussed what were the next steps, he did mention for me to get induced. This was a question I was always thinking the answer to, something I had to consult with my spouse and think whether or not I would get induced. I did not want to get induced, of course, but if the baby wasn't going to be born on June 15th, then I would get induced. I did not want to wait it out, because I know that, I've spoken to my doctor, and he said, so I'm going to send you there and we're going to monitor you. And I said, okay. And what happens if nothing happens? And he goes, well, then we'll send you back home and we'll just wait till, whatever happens. I'm like, okay. He's like, but would you want to get induced, because today is your due date and you are 40 weeks? And I said, if there's a possibility of me getting induced, then yes. If you allow that, then yes, I would want to get induced, because I did not really want it to wait it out, just because the Braxton Hicks contractions, I felt like he wasn't going to be born until like later, or I felt like either way they would have to induce me. And so I decided to get induced, also because if the baby does stay in your belly for, past the due date, sometimes, they poop inside your stomach. Yes, I know. And they can, of course, eat it. And I do not want my baby to eat his own poop, as should never. Anybody should eat poop. So don't eat poop. And if you are eating poop, stop it. I'm kidding. So, of course, I didn't want my baby to eat poop. So, they sent me to the hospital, and when I get there, the nurses are like, oh, okay. They check me in. Thank God I registered before, so that check-in wasn't that long. They take me to the labor and delivery room immediately, and they just hook me up, and they put the little belt around my belly to monitor his heartbeat. They check my blood pressure, so on and so forth, and yada, yada, yada. So then I get there. You know, I already have my hospital bags there. Everything's done. They're monitoring me, and I'm there chilling. And I'm probably there, and it's probably like I want to say 4:30. So I was just chilling there for maybe 2 hours, and then my doctor comes in, Dr. Delshad, which is the one who is going to deliver my baby. He comes in and speaks to me, and he says, "Okay, Gabriela, we're gonna start inducing you." I'm like, whoa, like, this baby's coming soon, ladies and gents, very soon. So they give me this pill, and so I take it, and what that's supposed to do is make you start having, start provoking the labor, which basically the best way for those ladies out there that have not been pregnant, you guys don't know what labor feels like, obviously. It's just like menstrual cramps, but 10 times worse. And that's the best explanation I can give you guys. It's like menstrual cramps 10 times worse. You know, I just realized I'm like all the way over here. Oh yeah, that is better. Woo woo. Anyways, back to the story. So they give me my pill, I swallow it, and maybe like around 4 5. So they gave me my pill like around 6. At around 8:30, I start feeling a little bit, like there's some cramping starting around my stomach, and that's when I start kind of feeling some of the labor signs. They weren't that bad yet. They were like pretty like painful, but enough for me to be like, okay, I'm good. And may I add, guys, I did not want an epidural, nor did I want to get one at all. I wanted to get my plan originally was to get a natural vaginal birth and no epidural, just tough it out like a big girl and deliver my baby. But unfortunately, that did not go as planned. So, it's already 8 o'clock, 8:30, starting to feel a little bit of the symptoms. Hours go by, nothing. Then, like at 12 midnight, they gave me another pill, and they kicked it up a little notch, so I do start getting a little, more painful, and kind of start complaining about them. I could not sleep all that night. Guys, I'm pregnant, so I had to pee like every 5 minutes, and my belly already dropped, so yeah, that makes it even worse. Now is when the labor starts kicking in, and I remember sometimes I felt like I had to push, or like I had to poop. That's the feeling. And nothing happened all night. I was just in pain. I was walking. I had an active labor, so I was walking while I was getting my contractions, just because I feel like if I stay laying down in bed, I'm going to feel the labor contractions more. I don't know, that's just me when I'm in pain. I like to just walk it off. I don't really like to just lay there and accepting the pain, if that makes sense. So then the morning comes up, and still no baby, and so they give me another pill. And the doctor's like, okay, I'm looking at your contractions. And they start coming in like now in the morning. So it's June 16th now, 8 a.m. And they're coming like every 10-15 minutes. And they are lasting pretty longer than they would be. And they start hurting even more. Now, my doctor said, nothing's happening. So he starts checking my cervix. And I am 3 centimeters dilated now. And I'm even, I'm pumped to hear that news. My water has not yet broken, so that was like kind of a bummer. That's what they do. They keep coming in and checking your cervix, checking the baby, monitoring you and the baby. So then maybe like 2 hours pass, and guys, let me tell you, these cramps, these labor cramps really start kicking my butt. I mean, oh my God. When they would come, I would have to sit up on my bed and prepare myself, because all around my stomach to the back, I would feel the whole contraction, that tightness, and it tightens your whole body just gets stiff. That's how much it hurt, that I was just like, oh my God, and I had to take deep breaths because it was so painful. I tried to walk, but now this time I couldn't even walk because of how painful they were. And, you know, I was in horrible labor. The nurse comes in and is like, do you want an epidural? I'm like, no, I'm okay, I'm good. She's like, are you sure? Because it's there if you want it. I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like I said, I didn't want the epidural. So, you know, she's like, okay, let me just check your cervix really quick. And guys, this is when I get pumped. As she's checking my cervix, I am 4 centimeters dilated, and my water breaks as she's checking my my cervix, and I'm super excited. But unfortunately, that did not, you know, activate my birth. I did not have to give birth. So they say, you know what, we're going to lay you on your left side, and they put like this yoga ball in between my legs. That's when the doctor comes in. He checks the baby, and he kind of looks a little bit worried, and he comes up to me, he's like, I'm glad you're laying on your left side. He said, the baby's heartbeat is slowing down, and laying on your left side is the best, because that's the way they can get the most oxygen. And I was like, okay. So an hour after, still no signs. You know, my water already broke. I was already like 4 centimeters dilated, and the doctor comes back in. Now, may I add, at this point, it's already like maybe 11-ish, 11:30, I'm not sure, but Carlos ended up leaving and going down to the cafeteria, getting something to eat for himself and something to drink. So then that's when the doctor comes in and he says, Gabby, you know, I think we should stop the labor because nothing's happening, and at this point I don't feel like we should keep on going because the baby's heartbeat is dropping by the beat. Like, and I was like, oh, he's like, so I don't know. I know you didn't want a C-section, he said, but I think that's the road we're going to have to go with. And, you know, that's the best advice I can give you. I was like, he's like, but at the end of the day, it is up to you, but I do suggest we do it. And if we do it, we should do it now. So I'm just like, whoa, I'm in the hot seat right then and there. So I'm just kind of like, oh my God. And Carlos isn't even in there. So I'm like, okay, well, my spouse is in here. Can I call him? And they're like, yeah, of course. Take the time you need. And I'm like, okay. So I call him and I'm like, babe, you know, they're telling me that the baby's heartbeat keeps dropping and he's trying to regulate his heartbeat, but it's not working. And they feel like they should stop the labor because I have been in labor since last night and nothing has happened. My water broke and nothing still hasn't happened. So I was pretty concerned, and he's like, so what's gonna happen? And I'm like, well, they're suggesting a C-section. And guys, I started bawling my eyes out because I did not want a C-section, and I felt like something was wrong with me. I felt like something was wrong with my body, like my body just couldn't give birth. But the doctor reassured me that that was not the problem, that was not the case. It was just that my son's heart rate was really dropping, and of course, you know, I had no choice. So he said, so we're just gonna give you a C-section. I'm gonna start preparing everything. I'm like, okay. So we start, you know, they start like preparing me. They give Carlos some scrubs, which he, may I add, he looks so cute in. So I'm super hyped. Sorry, I keep looking over there. My door's open, and I want to feel the air conditioning coming because it's hot in here. And like I said, these lights, woo, make it pretty hot in here. So, yeah, it's, I asked the doctor, so how long does that take? Oh, maybe like 30 minutes. I'm like, 30 minutes? Oh my God, I'm going to be a mom in 30 minutes. I was really hyped, guys. So, you know, they take me there. The anesthesiologist just meets me to the delivery room where I'm going to get a C-section. And I was nervous about the epidural, but thankfully these doctors and these nurses were amazing with me. And he walked me through every step, sorry about that, and spoke to me and told me exactly what he was doing, how I was going to feel, what was going to happen. So I felt comfortable, and he did great. I didn't feel the needle. I didn't feel any pain. I just felt my body going numb. I felt like I was lit. No, I'm just kidding. that epidural just messes you up. You're just like, ugh. like just slumped, guys. You're just like, oh my god. So they lay me down on the surgery table, and they lay you down flat like this, and they put like a curtain. I don't know if they do it like that for other C-sections, but this is how they did it for mine. And they put like a curtain here so you can't see anything, and then they start operating you. So maybe like 20 minutes after, 30 minutes of like taking my guts out and everything. And may I add, guys, there was this big light shining over me, and there was this little reflector in the middle. And yes, girl, I saw them cut me open. I saw them do the process. And the worst thing is that Carlos was sitting next to me taking pictures. So I have the pictures of my stomach ripped open. I am not going to put them on here because that is just way too gory. But those things are crazy. But anyways, like 20-30 minutes later, guys, Logan is born at 12:21 p.m. 7 pounds, 11 ounces, 21 inches. Oh my god, I hear his cry. They show him up. They lift him up like Simba from The Lion King. I'm just like, whoa, that baby is beautiful, guys. I start bawling my eyes out, and I start complimenting my son. I'm like, baby, Logan, oh my god, you're so beautiful. I'm like, he's so amazing. And guys, let me tell you, the whole process was, painful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Labor hurts. Pregnancy in general is a roller coaster, but till this day, I will do it all over again. I will do it multiple times. I want a really big family, and I don't mind doing it 3-4 more times. And because the outcome is just beautiful, at the end of the day, you get this beautiful, healthy baby, a baby that is going to love you forever. Like I said, he makes me feel special alongside with my spouse. So I'm grateful for the both of them. I'm grateful that the process was, easily going. Not the best process, but yes, it is amazing to be a mom. I love that I gave, birth. It's amazing. Maybe not the way that I wanted, but the way that it was meant to be. And that was the way it was meant to be, and I'm glad. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy my labor and delivery story. I'm sorry that if it was a little scattered everywhere. It was just that day was scattered everywhere as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you did not like this video, go ahead and give it another thumbs up, because what the heck. And go ahead and subscribe. I will be posting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you guys so much, and bye-bye.